everybody, for the 100th time. My name is Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 100. What a special, spectacular. Oh, man, it's been so long. We're so lonely. Please come join us. Yeah, thank you very much. Episode 100. That's a big accomplishment. We've been doing this quite a while now. That's pretty cool, man.
Almost 2 years in a month.
Right on. I was wondering, when is this going to end? I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, it just won't end. We'll just be like 45, same amount of followers, just coming every couple of old men bitching about new movies.
Yeah.
So this is episode 100, and we're gonna do some rankings. We're doing every theatrical Star Wars release. Every one of them. So 11 movies. Strap in. This could take a bit. Okay? You know how these usually go. So, we're going to talk about them chronologically in order of release. And we'll just give our thoughts about the film. And then we'll give our ranking. And then at the end, we'll just recap what our rankings are. I guess is how we'll do it.
Yeah.
So, chronological release. So, we're episode 4. Or just... It was called Star Wars.
Yeah.
Until George had to muddy the waters. So now it's episode 4, A New Hope, 1977.
The OG, the one that started it all.
You know what could be said about that? It's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Awesome adventure movie. It's just like it's one of those cool adventure movies. It's like the template of
Hero's
what like
journey,
an adventure movie should be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the Odyssey, totally.
Yeah.
It's really great. And it holds up well. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even the effects and everything. And then it
Great
was re-released.
characters. It's so good.
Oh, yeah. And then re-released in 1997, special edition. So I saw this in theaters thanks to that re-release.
Yeah, me too.
That was pretty awesome. I remember the Jabba part is kind of dumb in the re-release, the CG Jabba that looks like shit. And then they couldn't, because he steps over Solo's tail, so the Jabba kind of
Han just levitates for a minute.
Whatever it was, it's just ridiculous.
That's right. So Han walks behind, because the original Jabba was just an actor, and Han just walks behind the actor, but they couldn't do that, so they had Han like levitate over his tail, and it's fucking hilarious.
It was crazy at the time, though, to see scenes like that put in an old-ass movie, but they were like, they were there, they filmed them, so that was kind of crazy to see Han interacting with Jabba, but it's 1997, and they got 77 Han, and it's pretty cool. And I remember another thing I loved about it was, remember that one scene where they're pulling around the planet to go to the Death Star, and that was a new scene with the CG X-Wings.
Yeah, awesome.
And all the X-Wings pull in front of the planet, and it's for 1997, it looked fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. And then all the S-foils in attack position.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, that was like worth the special edition to me, like more cool X-Wing stuff.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think there's not much to be said about that. That's a classic. Of course, it's going to be pretty high on anyone's list, I think. On my list, it's number 2. A New Hope.
Nice. My list is number 3. It made the top 3. Yeah, it's funny about the CGI stuff. Remembering back as a kid, I loved all of that. I mean, I was 11 years old, and like the CGI was kind of a new thing. So seeing it in a big budget, like I loved the Jabba stuff, the X-wing stuff, all the CG. Like, this is cool. Like the worm thing on Tatooine when they're riding that big ass thing.
Those parts were cool. Yeah.
But looking back on it now, it's a little rough. But I remember liking it as a kid. Like, this is awesome. The CG is so cool.
They added some cool speeder stuff. Like a lot of that stuff in Mos Eisley was okay. Mm-hmm. And then the do-back thing. He falls off. Anyway. So next chronological release is Empire Strikes Back, of course, episode 5. So this is what was it? This is the only one not directed by George Lucas, right? Out of the original 6 releases.
Correct.
I don't remember the explanation for him not directing it. I think it's because he was so involved with the special effects, because ILM that he just didn't think he had the time to do it. But then he went back and did it. So
Yeah.
What the heck was that? Irvin Kershner?
Irvin Kershner, yeah.
Directed it. And yeah, this is a great one because it's the middle. So it's the low point of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
All the odds are stacked against you. And it starts with the awesome Hoth, which is freaking sweet, man. I love those speeders, the snow speeders. And then, you get the introduction of Yoda. You actually get Luke training to be a Jedi and learning more about it. You get revelation of Darth Vader. You get his first confrontation with Darth Vader. You get the really cool side story of Solo meeting Lando and going to Cloud City. There's just a lot of great stuff in this one. And I don't think there's any slow point in this one. Any slog. It's all pretty
I would say it's entertaining, but what I love about this one, and actually this was my least favorite growing up, because this is very much a character-driven movie versus the other two, like Return and New Hope, are very like adventurous. And we're gonna go action and explosions. This one's like, let's slow everything down, give all the characters some growth. So to me, this one was always kind of the boring one growing up. Now, like looking back on it, it's the best one of the original, in my opinion. Yeah, there's so many great moments, as you've already said. The Vader reveal is probably the most iconic scene in movie history.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hoth scene is still one of the best, like just straight up space battle war scenes. I think there's another one we'll talk about later on that kind of takes the run for its money, but yeah, it's interesting, kind of, because when I appreciated Empire the most, and we talked about another movie a couple years ago, which obviously we're going to get to. But in researching that, I didn't know that Empire was kind of a split reaction with audiences back then. But it kind of makes sense if you put yourself in the shoes of somebody who just saw New Hope, which is like this rip-roaring good time, and you go into Empire expecting the same thing, and you're like, wait, this is boring as fuck. But I'm glad that over time, over the VHS and just the fan base, this has kind of grown to be arguably the best one of the whole franchise. So it's kind of fascinating.
Yeah. It did have a darker ending, even, but George Lucas had to put a happier ending for some reason. Because when they're standing there, hopeful, looking out the window, that wasn't the original ending, I guess.
Oh, weird.
It's gonna be more downtrodden. And I always liked Luke with the blue lightsaber. I liked the blue. And remember when we were kids, you could get the toy green lightsaber, the kid one you could flip out. Yeah. But they never ever released the blue one. And so it was kind of like that cool thing, because it was, it was forbidden. You couldn't have it. No, you can't have a blue one. And then finally, I remember the first blue toy he could get came out with, I think it was Episode 2. Remember, Episode 1 had a toy, but it was Qui-Gon's green one. And then Anakin's blue one came out for Episode 2. And I remember me and Lewis having to go to, dude, did you hear there's a blue one released? What? Finally! We go down there. We're already we're high school kids at that point. We're like, yeah! Fucking battling and shit. I need 4 fucking double D's, Mom!
Well, it's weird. It took them that long because they had green and red. I'm pretty sure there's a red one growing up, too. I owned a green one, I'm pretty sure there's a red one.
There was a Vader.
Then. Yeah.
Yeah, but they never released that blue one. So I remember it was a big deal when we got a toy blue one. I was like, yeah!
Get some.
So, yeah, Empire Strikes Back. I think it bests A New Hope in every way. I think it bests everything in every way. And it's just the coolest story-driven, darker Star Wars. It's my number one, hands down.
Nice.
Top of the list. Cream always rises to the top.
All right, well, I guess the controversy begins now. Empire is number 2 for me. It did not make number 1 in my personal list. It's a fucking classic. I love it, but it's not my favorite out of the bunch.
All right.
I see that smile. You already know what's coming.
Oh, cool. God. So, next release, Return of the Jedi. At the time, my favorite. I think it was everyone's favorite at the time. Now it's kind of campy and not that great, but I still think it does have a lot of good stuff. The beginning is awesome. Going to get Han back. That's some great stuff. What else has it got?
Endor. And you got the Ewoks and the speeder bikes.
Yeah, that part wasn't that great. That's kind of the part I didn't like. But the space battle during that was awesome. The second Death Star battle was good. And then the Emperor trying to turn Luke, all that stuff was really good because you get to see Luke actually being like a Jedi Master, super in control of his emotions, and I will not fight you, Father, and handing over his saber. There was good in you, I felt it, and all that stuff is really good. At the end, and so I heard a good one, like when he's fighting Luke, like how did he lose so easy? Remember Luke?
Oh yeah.
But that's when I heard a good thing that it was after Obi-Wan that he found out he had a sister, and that's what kind of weakened him in the fight and turned him all the way, because like he realized that he had tortured and gone after his own daughter without knowing it, which is Obi-Wan, and it just really broke him and took him out of mentally the fight. So that's a cool little addition, I thought, and I could see that in the fight something happened, whether it be his love for Luke or realizing he had a daughter too.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. This is another one I watched a lot growing up. Now it's, I'm a little more critical of it now than I was back in the day. It's not low on my list by any means, but I don't know. There's something about it. I think the middle chunk of that movie is just not very interesting. I think like you said, the beginning and the end, I think is what the draw is for me. But there's a whole chunk, like an hour of that movie where it's just kind of like, you're kind of just going through the motions. But yeah, the intro with the Jabba the Hutt stuff and seeing Luke kind of full Jedi in his black garb, and then at the end, the fight with the Emperor and the Vader. Good shit.
Yeah. I think it's the original ending. Not the special edition ending. The special edition ending shows like this one has multiple special editions because it's like they put Hayden Christensen in the newest version instead of the old man Vader, which sucks for that guy.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on, man. So I think the new ending is like there's a bunch of fireworks going off on all the different planets.
Yeah, different cities.
And it's got a different song. But in the original ending, it's just Endor celebrating. And you get all the Ewoks in it, and you get the Ewok song that was it's like something's in the mall, and the Ewoks are pretty fun.
Yeah. They're fucking adorable.
Don't hit me with that fucking spear. He says he's going to fucking stab you. Will you tell him, 3PO?
I'll bash his fucking brains in.
Han. What? This little fucker poked me. I'm going to take this shit. These aren't even humans. We should slaughter them all.
Oh, God.
Why the fuck are we even saving this planet? There's a bunch of fucking bears. Let the Empire have this one.
Oh, my God. So good.
So, Return of the Jedi. It's number 5 on my list out of the 11.
Wow.
It's the middle of the pack, yeah. I got quite a few above that.
Wow. Because mine is also number 5. Return of the Jedi.
Wow.
Number 5, yeah.
All right. Again, fucking something crossover.
Right. Oh, God. Oh, shit, I'm out. That laugh may be out of focus. Fucking camera. Oh, there we go.
What's the matter? Mustache too big?
Nice.
Next release is Phantom Menace, 1999, the return of Star Wars to cinema. Well, as a kid, you think it's over. You think it's fucking over, and then you hear, "Oh my God, they're doing more!" And it was such an awesome thing. I think it came out when I was in 6th grade, 1999. Return of the Jedi, not Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace got a lot of hate. It still kind of does. I mean, it is mid-pack on my list, but I still enjoy it. Like I can pop it in from that. It is actually a good adventure movie, just like 4 was, and it feels very episode 4-ish in that good structure of an adventure to me, and it feels very Star Wars-ish, having all the Tatooine stuff and Um, uh, all that. Pod race is, it is what it is. It's all right. I don't think it's terrible. It still graphically holds up pretty well, which is surprising. I love the dynamic between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. That's really good stuff. Like anytime they're on screen together, it's pretty captivating. I love the beginning. It's like when they're talking and they're on the ship and they're sensing some things. That's really good stuff. I sense much fear in them. Strange for a negotiation. And I love the vice versa. Two Jedi. We won't make it out of this alive.
Oh God.
And then all that stuff. They're no match for Droidekas. And then they talk to Palpatine. Your plan is over. Two Jedi are here. And then we'll never make it out. Your plan is done. And then I like Palpatine's get this slime out from in front of me. Like, oh shit, my bad.
Fuck me, right?
Sorry about that. That's Jeff. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Oh man,
Jar Jar is kind of bad.
Yeah,
that CG doesn't hold up well, but yeah, Ewan and frickin' Liam are awesome, and that's the sound of 1,000 terrible things coming this way. Ooh, Misa don't like.
God damn it, Jar Jar.
And it had the best lightsaber battle up until that point, which was fucking awesome. Like you'd only seen lightsaber battles in 4 and 5, were just kind of very telegraphed and slow, and then this fucking crazy shit. And you're like, what? Fucking flipping around and doing all this crazy stuff. Double-ended lightsabers. Like, God dang. So yeah, I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. But as I say that, it is number 6 on my list.
Yeah, I was gonna say people may hate this, but I like this movie. Yeah, I mean, everything you just said. Fucking the intro of Dual Fates, hearing that for the first time as the blast doors open and Darth Maul is just standing there with his hood over, and then you just fucking da-da! Oh my god, that's fucking one of the best Star Wars moments. And like that, the lightsaber battle, just even that whole climax. You got the lightsaber happening, you got the Gungans versus the droids on the field, you got the space stuff with Anakin in the space. Oh man, it's fucking awesome. And then yeah, I think the pod racing's fun. I think it lacks any sort of like stakes that you should be involved in. I think that's his biggest issue. There's nothing really to root for. You're just kind of watching a fun action scene.
No, it's got stakes. It's like, what do I stand to win? Everything.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What do you mean everything?
Flip a coin.
A chance cube.
But yeah, yeah, fucking Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon, seeing a young Obi-Wan with Ewan McGregor, Darth Maul. I like this movie quite a bit. Yeah, like you said, that being said, it is number 7 on my list. You said it was number 6 for you?
Okay. Yeah, number 6 for me.
You're pretty close.
And then some of the Anakin stuff is so bad it's good. It's like, I know, R2, he told me to stay in this cockpit, and that's what I'm going to do. Woo!
Oh, God.
Hey, that's one of our fighters. Get him, kid! That kid's fucking 9.
The fact that they have the 9-year-olds in space in a space battle is fucking ludicrous, but...
Woo!
Oh, God.
Oh, man. I can't reach the pedals, R2! Hit the gas!
Oh, man, I love it.
And some of the cheesy introductions to characters you'll know is good. He's like, that little R2 unit saved our lives! We owe him a debt of gratitude. What's his call sign? He's number R2D2. Thank you, R2D2. We owe you a debt of gratitude.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be watching your career with much suspense.
Oh man,
you'll never win, Viceroy. All right, so yeah, Phantom Menace, fun. Episode 2, next chronological release is Attack of the Clones. When did this come out? 2002.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. 2002. Attack of the Clones, which like you think it's gonna be awesome because it's Attack of the Clones. Like, oh, Clone Wars, I've heard of that. You served with my father in the Clone Wars. Now I get to see it. And then you're like, this is the fucking Clone Wars?
You get about 5 minutes of it.
I didn't know the Clone Wars was just a fucking CG fest.
Yeah.
Like 6 actors standing in a green fucking room. Remember the Clone Wars? One of the worst parts is when they're running through the factory. It's just CG shit. Yeah. And they're like, oh, careful. It's like Looney Tunes or some shit. It's like a fucking bad video game. You gotta get through. Oh man, and it looks so bad. That doesn't hold up.
Yeah, this is pretty rough.
There's so much CG. But you know, there are parts of this I like. I do like the beginning assassination type stuff. I do like the Anakin hitting on Padme stuff. It's pretty fucking funny. You're just as beautiful as I remember. You know? And then I do like the Jango Fett stuff. Like Obi-Wan and him. That's a really cool battle in the rain. And then I love that space battle where he's chasing him. That in the theater was fucking sick, dude. With those seismic charges.
Yeah. So silent, yeah.
And just fucking you up with the THX around. Like, oh my gosh, that was cool. But then you get to the end, you get all the boring ass love stuff. It's like you could say that a Jedi is encouraged to love. No, they're not. You can't say that. I think they expressly forbid it.
Yeah.
Let me cut your pear. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, this movie suffers from an A-B plot, like a sitcom where you have like the main plot with the main characters and then the subplot with the side character. This movie has an A and B plot, and one is so much more interesting than the other. Everything with what makes this movie even watchable, in my opinion, is Obi-Wan's journey throughout it, like going to see the clones.
Mullet Obi-Wan.
Yes. All the stuff with Anakin, I could really care less about. I'm like, it's just him going and hanging out with Padme, and then she convinces him to go to Tatooine to find his mom, and they go on the whole little thing and kill. Yeah,
that's the only interesting part is when he actually goes to look for his mom, and you get to see some. That's cool. Him slaughtering the fucking Sand people was pretty awesome.
And then, by the time we get to the end, it's just one huge CG fucking fight fest, but which is kind of fun. I mean, I didn't watch the whole movie this weekend, but I did skip to that scene because it's just an extravagant kind of set piece. It's funny. I was watching the lightsaber battle was kind of in play with the Yoda stuff, and Sarah comes out.
Oh yeah, there's that.
She goes, "This seems bad," and I'm like, "Elaborate, like what?" Because like she doesn't watch too much Star Wars like we do. And I was like, "What makes it bad? Like what in your mind?" She's like, "Well, they're not actually in the place that they're in. Everything looks fake." And she's like, "I don't believe that old guy is flinging that lightsaber around." And she's like, "I hate the look of Yoda." I'm like, "These are all valid points. These are all valid."
Yeah, that lightsaber battle was kind of whack. It's just you did too much, like Yoda. Whoa! Like, oh my god, flip it through the air, and then obviously Dooku can't do any of his own stunts. It's always like a CG'd head on an actor's body because that old man can barely walk. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do this.
Oh god.
And then, but like the Anakin parts of that battle are pretty good, but that's it's mixed in with all the other shit, so it's it's not good. And then that last battle was fucking terrible. And then to kill off Jango in the same movie is introduced. It's like I don't know if that's the best idea. It's just kind of super boring. This is definitely one when I watch it, I skip around. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And one of the parts I always go to is you pretty much just skip to get to the Obi-Wan plot lines. And I love it when he goes to the little cafe. Dex, that alien Dex. Ooh, a Camino saber dart. These guys live on the outer rim. I'd like to go talk to them. Well, it depends. Depends on what, Dex? How big your pocketbook is. And how good your manners are.
It's like, I love that guy.
Your manners. You say please and thank you. Yes, ma'am.
God.
No, sir. Oh, that shit. That's so good.
I wish
And
they just would have
love
casted John Goodman in that scene. That's like
Yeah.
a John Goodman character.
Yeah, I love the interaction of fucking Obi-Wan and Jango too when you first get there. You must be very proud of your clones. They'll serve you good. Have you ever been to the Coruscant system? Coruscant? Can't say I have. And they're all just kind of eyeballing each other.
Oh god.
And he sees the like armor in the bathroom, like just kind of closes the door with his arm. Don't look in there. It was pretty funny.
God.
Like I saw on a panel where they're talking, and they had the kid who played little Django, and he's like an adult now on this panel. And Obi-Wan's there, and he's like, "Yeah, we're trying to get the scene where he answers the door, and he's like, and I'm like, is your father here?" And he's supposed to look like, surprised at who I am and kind of give me a once up and down, and it just wasn't working. So I said to him, "Here, pretend that I just farted when I come up, and you smell it." And then he said that was the next take. He opens the door.
Nice. Nailed it.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, Attack of the Clones. This is pretty low on my list. Number 9 out of the 11.
Man, we're at it again. Attack of the Clones is also number 9 on my list.
All right. Next chronological release: Revenge of the Sith. The end. What we thought would be the end of Star Wars films. And so it was bittersweet. We knew what we would get in this episode. We knew there had to be Anakin turning. We knew there had to be the epic battle that we've all heard about. We knew we'd have to get Vader by the end of it. And we knew this was going to be the last one, or so we thought. So we, there was this feeling in the air where you had to watch this one in the theater and you had to really soak it in because this was it. We finally got more Star Wars movies, and now they're over. So, this one's just like a fucking adrenaline rush to try and fit all this like plot lines they need to get to episode 4.
Yeah.
But man, it's fun. I love it. The beginning, the Palpatine saving is pretty awesome. He's, right off the bat, you just leave him. Why would I leave him? It's like, I don't know. That's strange to just leave him.
Oh god.
He'll be okay. His fate will be the same as ours.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
And people drag on the dialogue in this one. There's a lot of talking. I love the talking. I love the exposition in this. It's like it's all fan service of filling in the holes to get to episode 4, and I like it. And there's that battle right there with Dooku. That was just fucking wicked. You see an Anakin just chopping someone's head off, and then there's a lot of good ship stuff. Like we're in those Jedi interceptors. Those are fucking cool ships. It's kind of part TIE fighter, part Jedi fighter. That stuff's cool. What else have we got in this one? I'm trying to remember what we get in the middle. You get some.
Yeah, what does Obi-Wan do? I know that Anakin's just hanging around the Chancellor. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Obi-Wan goes to fight Grievous, or to like hunt down Grievous, I believe, and they have a showdown between him and Grievous.
Yeah. General Kenobi. You are a bold one. Hello.
I'm so glad he was a main character in the Clone Wars show because he didn't get enough screen time in this. He's great.
Hello there. Yeah, and it's like, fucking, how are you supposed to battle? Like 4 lightsabers spinning uncontrollably. Like, oh shit. Yeah, and that's just too much CG there too. And Obi-Wan's riding that thing. And, oh no! Canyon is like, oh my god, really? Yeah, then Anakin is pretty much all with Palpatine, and you get some cool stuff about Palpatine kind of laying the groundwork of just totally taking over. and a lot of really good manipulation on his part. Misa suggests the Chancellor gets supreme powers. Of course, he gets Jar Jar to do it.
Yeah.
And it is really cool, like to see the mentorship between Palpatine and Anakin. Like, oh yeah, you've never heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No, it's not a tale you'd hear from a Jedi. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, "Is it possible to learn this power?" And he just looks over at him, dead eye. Not from a Jedi.
I love that scene. That's a really good scene. Like, then some sort of like weird opera show things, like kind of dark and moody, and all these little hums. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then it pans down to the screen. It's got the Bluetooth. It's got the fucking Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that stuff. That stuff's really cool. And then when Anakin finally learns that he's the you're a Sith Lord, and it's like, yeah, that's exactly what you should do. Why don't you just fucking kill him?
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, I'm gonna take you in. No, Anakin. And yeah, it's really fun, man. I still enjoy Episode 3, and it does have, Episode 1 was the best lightsaber battle. Now this is, and it still is to this day, because it's like it's like fucking 10 full minutes of like lightsaber battling with crazy choreography that they actually learned, so you can tell it's not stunt people. There's some CG flips and stuff, but it's all them when it should be them, and they're just going.
Yeah, the most ridiculous part of that fight is when they literally stop fighting and they just have like a little lightsaber move fight. They're not both fighting. They're just like, what the fuck is going on? It's like a dance off or a lightsaber off.
Yeah, fellow chucker, eh?
Oh, God.
Here I am, spinning my lightsaber better than you. Yeah, so that battle is just intense and awesome, dude. And it's just all over the place, going inside, outside, lava banks, on a little fucking raft, on a 4x4 thing. Oh, it's crazy.
Oh, my God.
And then it's awesome, that part, man. It's like, it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Classic.
You underestimate my power. Don't try it. Oh! This big ass flip.
Oh my God.
And then I love that. Yeah, it's just the coolest, like through an arm and through both legs. Big old swings. Oh! I hate you.
It's just burning. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
He's like half his body crawling up. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, and then he just shows him burning and his skin melting. That was pretty intense. And he just walks away. Takes his lightsaber first. I'll take this.
You pussy.
And just leaves. Yeah, and then there's some hilarious stuff like in that stuff. It's like, you're breaking my heart, Anakin.
Oh, yeah.
So we're losing her for some unknown reason. She's dying of a broken heart.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith. Episode 3 is my number 3.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. That went up there.
Yeah, it's up there, bud.
Yeah, it's pretty low on mine. I don't think it's a bad movie at all. I think it's pretty enjoyable. Like Attack of the Clones, I think there's stuff that I really like about it and stuff I just don't. It's funny, like looking at Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith and how they're filmed and how they look, they're straight up like a live action cartoon. Like Jedis are flying 50 feet in the air and all the sets are fake. It feels very cartoonish, especially compared to Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace still felt a little more grounded. But I don't know, I just found it interesting because I was kind of skipping through Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones. I'm like, this feels like I'm watching the Clone Wars show, but just the live action version of it. Anyways, it's pretty low on my list, unfortunately. For me, it's number 8.
Oh, damn. 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 I got number 3, dog.
Broke your heart.
Okay. 7, Force Awakens. And when we thought we wouldn't get any more Star Wars movie, they just kept coming. Like, goddamn. But, I think we were all pretty excited to hear about it when it first started. Because they were going to have Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and Hans, Harrison Ford. so we were pretty excited because I thought for sure it's going to kind of be following the originals, and those characters are going to have a big part, and then introduce new people, but it was not very much about the old characters, and I think that's the where they kind of fell flat. But Force Awakens, I really enjoyed at the time. Seeing Han Solo back was really cool. Kylo Ren was a pretty cool character before they started in this movie. I think in the next two movies, his story arc just changes too much, and he becomes this not menacing character anymore. And he's not doesn't have this air of mystery around him anymore. Like in Episode 7, when he's like going that first battles, and he like stops that blaster bolt and shit, and he like kills that guy. Like, okay, it's like this is a pretty menacing new character we got here. His lightsaber's weird. He's got a mask. I like it. Where are the plans? It's hard to understand you with all the apparatus. Do I talk first? You talk first.
Like, yeah, how's this work?
I like Poe. I like Poe. Finn was cool. Rey. I've never been a big fan of Rey. I mean, it is what it is. But I just thought it was fun, and I know it's a super retread of Episode 4 with the oh shit, they made another one. But I think that was fine as a reintroduction to the movies, just to get us back into it, and I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it at the time. I still enjoy it. I think it does rank highest for me amongst the Disney sequels. Maybe it's just because it was the first one back, and I kind of captured it. But I think, and also during this one, it felt like they had a plan. You know what I mean? They introduced Snoke, was a super cool bad guy. I was like, okay, I want to know more about this guy. This guy's menacing as shit. And none of these storylines really go anywhere because they just fucking hop all over the place. So that's disappointing. But during the first one, you're like, okay, yeah, we're going to get a cool trilogy that talks about all this stuff. So I was excited at that point, and I liked it. And it's number 7 for me. It's kind of low, but it is the highest ranking Disney sequel.
Nice. We're pretty close then. Yeah, this movie is wildly entertaining. I mean, love it or hate it, you're not bored. This movie just fucking whips by. Yeah, I like all the new characters. I like Rey. I like Finn. I think they're all pretty good. I like seeing, obviously Harrison Ford back with Chewie. All that stuff's great. I think Kylo was the one, when I walked out of the theater, Kylo, I think, was the one I gravitated to the most. I thought he was the most interesting. This person who's kind of like, not, kind of in this weird spot where his parents are on the light side and he's trying to do the stuff on the dark side. I thought it was all pretty interesting. Yeah, the biggest fault of this movie is that it's a New Hope version 2, which is kind of ridiculous. But, I get why they need to get people back to love Star Wars again after the prequels people didn't like. So you needed to feel like Star Wars. It needed to look like Star Wars. And I think that they nailed it out of the park in that respect. So yeah, for me, Force Awakens sits at number 6.
Okay. Yeah, right on.
Yours are 7, right? I'm writing yours down.
Yeah,
okay.
I had it at 7.
Cool.
And then next release was Rogue One. Looking back now at it, I think Rogue One was easily my favorite of any of the new era. I think it felt like a Star Wars movie, telling a small tale within the framework of getting to Episode 4. I thought a lot of the actors and acting was really good. That Mad Mikkelsen, or whatever his name is, was really great in this. That guy who played like the general and the white suit guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good. And, he's not like a super menacing character, because he gets shit on a lot by all the, like, Tarkin and stuff. Yeah. But he still seems pretty formidable and on his own. And it was once again a really good adventure piece, and it showed some cool stuff about the rebellion, like that. What's that guy's name? Andor. He's gonna have a show coming up. Like, he was an interesting character. He's like fucking murdering people, and he shoots that guy in the back. Yeah. Like, oh, sorry, buddy. and he's like talking about he's done things for the rebellion. At first, it shows you what I like to. It shows you gray areas. Like not everyone on the rebellion. It's not the rebellion is not the super nice. We're definitely the good guys thing. Like this guy's killing people, and then you show the other side, the Empire. These people that don't even want to work for the Empire, but they have to, or they're going to get killed. So I liked that it showed you that it's not like it seemed in Episode 6. Like you're definitely bad, you're definitely good. There is no in between. Everyone on the rebellion is fucking nice guy who would save your cat from a tree, type of thing. And I really liked that about it. And graphically, this movie was fucking gorgeous, man. There's like the ship parts, and it was really, I don't know how they did it. If they used CG or if they actually had some prop work for the ships, but I think that it lines up so well with like Episode 4 and like how the ships look. Like they're really white, like they're almost made out of plastic.
I was gonna say, did you rewatch the? Yeah, I was gonna say the most like crazy part of that movie visually are these Star Destroyers in space, and it looks like a model, and it's just like this harsh light that's just shining onto, and it looks fucking gorgeous. It is like the most beautiful thing. Yeah, it
looks like a plastic model. I don't know if that's really good CG. If it is, because it looks like it matches up perfectly with the Episode 4 stuff. And then I thought Jyn Erso was a pretty interesting character. I really liked the Donnie Yen character. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. That was pretty cool. He's pretty funny. They put the hood on him. Are you kidding me? I'm blind.
So good.
And then what the heck's that guy's name? With the frickin' the breather.
God damn it! His name is actor's Forrest Whitaker. I'm trying to remember his fucking name.
Yeah.
It's gonna bother me. Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker's good enough, but that guy was a crazy dude. He was awesome. He's just swinging for the fences playing this guy. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, the unfortunate side effect is one tends to lose their mind.
What are you doing? Yeah. Let's reel it in a bit, man.
He's got like 2 robot legs, and he's fucking like, I feel like he's inhaling like drugs. Now I feel better. I need the special juice. But yeah, it's fucking fun the whole way through, and it's like menacing, and the Empire actually seems formidable and super scary in it. I love it. And then you get that Vader scene at the end, which matches up with the Tantive 4, and that's really cool. The Tarkin stuff, the CG didn't age well. No. I don't know. It's just an uncanny valley kind of stuff. It's not good enough, but it's serviceable, I guess. It's not a big problem to me. The Carrie Fisher part was better, I thought. Just briefly showing her. I don't think she even speaks or anything.
Yeah, she says. She does. This is hope or something because they get. So like this is
rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah, they build that into your head a few times.
Yeah. So this is the new hope, I think. Yeah, and it's weird because Vader. It doesn't make sense. Vader knows all about this plan, and he's like going after him. And then the Tantive 4, that's for Episode 4, and they're getting away from that other ship, and they have the plans. And Vader knows that, like they escaped. And then in Episode 4, is like almost kind of believing her story, or at least acting like it's plausible. So this is a ambassadorship. If this is an ambassadorship, where's your,
yeah.
Where's your translator or something? And he's like, this ship escaped from the other ship.
Like 5 minutes ago, bro.
Yeah. It's like now you're acting like we just found these guys. Who are these guys?
Yeah.
Well, let's invest. Let's not jump to conclusions. Okay? It's like the Empire is like innocent until proven guilty at this point.
Yeah, all your ships look alike. We don't know.
And he's just like, so that was funny. You sure you aren't the ship that just took those battle plans? I could have swore.
Oh my God.
So I really love this one. It's number 4 on my list. It's high.
Yeah, it's pretty high. When I first saw this, I kind of rejected it. I remember sitting in the theater, kind of getting sleepy, and I remember like the characters not being that interesting. But I remember perking up in like the last 40 minutes because the last 40 minutes is fucking bonkers, in a good way. And that's kind of where I sat with it since 2016. I haven't seen it since 2016. I was just kind of like, hey, it was fine. This character sucked, but the end is cool. Meanwhile, everyone around me is telling me how fucking epic and amazing it is. I'm like, it's fine. Let's fucking relax. Anyways, so in order to do this list, I was going to watch my favorite ones, just to recap, because, of course I'm going to watch my favorite ones. We're going to do a Star Wars list. But then I decided not to. I didn't watch any of my favorite. And nothing in my top 3 I watched again. I went back and watched ones I didn't really like to give them another chance and see where they rank, and just kind of reviewing them. So we watched Rogue One last night as like our big movie of the weekend. We just watched a movie in the weekend. And I got to say, I was wrong. This movie fucking kicks ass. I think it does still have character issues. I think Jen's interesting. I think Andor is interesting. The other ones are interesting on surface level, but they don't really do much. You know, like the Donnie Yen is cool on the surface. You got the stick and the Force, but it's fine. But you don't really know anything about him. So I still think the character stuff is a little wasted. But that being said, this movie's fucking awesome, and I loved it. And it is also my number 4. It's interesting that it's crazy that we got a movie about just like a sentence in the opening crawl of the original. Like I think the original is like, epic battle happened and people died.
Many Boston spies died that day.
Well, that one's from Return. That was different. But it's just weird that just a couple lines of the original text and we got a movie out of it. It's kind of fascinating and fun. And they give you an explanation of the Death Star in an organic way that makes sense. Like I thought that was all really cool. Gale Erso working for the Death Star and him as a big fuck you, he created this. I thought that was really well done.
Why it would have such a glaring, problem?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and wasn't it Chris Favreau playing that alien pilot?
Oh, I don't know.
Or Jon Favreau. Sorry,
Jon Favreau,
I'm pretty sure that's his voice. And then you get a lot of deaths in it because obviously everyone has to die by the end of this, and they're really heartfelt. Like when the alien pilot died, that got me. It's like, I'll be okay. He just kind of dies.
Yeah.
And then Donnie Yen dying was pretty good. And then that guy with the machine gun, really really liking him, and he goes over to his body and he's dying too. And I am one with the Force, and all that. Yeah, it's emotional. All these people dying, even though it has to happen. So that's remarkable. Yeah, great movie, Rogue One.
Yeah, agreed.
And watching it again, it makes me, so disappointed that they're going to stop those because, you only did 2 of them. You did 2 spin-offs, one not so great, or one really not great, and then one one of the best Star Wars movies. So it's like, that's a pretty good ratio, 50% of them hit. So
Make
one
another
out of 2.
one. Yeah.
So next one is Last Jedi.
Oh boy,
2017.
17.
Yeah. Oh man, I rewatched the ones I didn't really like as much to see.
Oh yeah, you did the same thing. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I rewatched this. I mean, I've seen the original trilogy enough. I did not have to watch those again.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen the prequels enough. I did not need to watch them again. But the newer ones I hadn't seen in a while. So we got The Last Jedi here. I have all of these every release. I forgot to show them when I had when we were talking about. But there's that one. Yeah, I'm watching it, and Jessie had never seen it. She'd seen 7, but she'd never seen any of the other ones.
Oh wow!
So she was pretty enthralled by it. She liked it. Her problems with it were everyone's problems with it. By the end, she's like, "Oh yeah," when Luke dies, and she's like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "What the fuck just happened?" I was like, "He's dead." Nice. She's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, to force project yourself across the galaxy will kill you." she's like, "That's fucking stupid." She's like that. She was like, "That's how they're gonna kill Luke Skywalker." I was like, "Yes, that's exactly how they're gonna kill him." And then her other problem was like, when they killed Snoke, she's like, "Did they just kill him?" And I was like,
yes.
"Yeah, they did."
Did him dirty.
Why? I don't. No one knows. No one knows. So yeah, watching it again, it's not a bad movie. I think a lot of the Canto Bright stuff was really boring. The only part that got me through that was Benicio del Toro. I loved him. Well, he does
he's
that,
so good. Yeah,
that triple smack thing. He's it's such a weird. He just did that. He's like, I need a thing for him. I think when he speaks, he goes
perfect.
He's got a tick or something. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's like, I could get you in there. And it's like, oh man, I couldn't help but overhear you talking very loudly when I was trying to sleep.
I love the boots around him that he has for like half the movie. It's so good.
And he's always just walks over and opens the gate. Well, goodbye. He's really fucking good in this. And I love it when he betrays him. It's like, you betrayed us. And he's like, it says something like, good guys, bad guys. They blow you up today, you blow them up tomorrow. It's okay. Okay? He's like, you're making a big mistake. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, he was good. So it's a pretty good movie. I have it above the other two on my list, but it's still not high. My problems with it are just ruining the new trilogy. Because in the new trilogy, I wanted that Snoke. I really wanted to see where that was going and get some cool stuff with him. Then you're making Kylo Ren the new big bad, and he's just not that. That's why they had to add a big bad in the next one. He's just not that. And all the plot lines you're throwing away, and then killing Luke off, and I thought it was out of character for Luke to just give up on everything. It's like, dude, really? It's like, you just saved the galaxy, and he's such like a perfect Jedi at the end of 6, but then he's like willing to just let everything burn, everything they worked for. It's like, it didn't make much sense to me to just be content with doing absolutely nothing. And that was his whole thing. The whole story arc in the original. So we have to do something. We have to try. We got to save her. And so I didn't like that. So that's where all my problems with 8 are. Just the illogical moves for Luke, and the ruining the story threads from 7. And it's so bad. Wasn't that Trevor or whatever, the Jurassic Park guy, going to do?
Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah, he was going to do 9, but I think they realized, like, oh shit, we gave Rian Johnson a lot of control. This has really fucked up the story. So much so that these are like 2 separate movies, and then we can't give it to this guy. We got to get JJ back. And so kind of clean it up and finish it. They should have just let one guy do the whole fucking trilogy, even if it is Rian Johnson. At least it would have been more coherent, because now it's just 3 separate fucking movies. Really,
agreed.
It doesn't feel like a trilogy at all, which is
100% agreed.
Shitty.
Even I'll just say it right out the gate. Here's where everyone screams at me and cries and wants to punch me in the face. Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. Is number 1. It's gonna be really hard to talk about this because I feel like this is just gonna be the episode we already did, part 2, and I'm trying to stay because we were with time, but I do, even though this is my favorite, I do agree that it's batshit wild that like there was no plan for all 3 of these. The fact that they just let these directors do whatever they wanted to do, because at the end of the day, all 3 of these movies just seem like a fight between 2 different directors and what Star Wars is. Like JJ's like, oh, this is what Star Wars is, and Ryan's like, well, this is kind of what Star Wars is. And then JJ comes back, no, this is what It's just like, why are we doing this? And also, the Colin Trevorrow script leaked, and I haven't read the whole thing, but I watched a video of somebody presenting the whole script, and it seems pretty fucking cool. Like the Knights of Ren actually have character names, and they're actually characters in the movie, and they do shit.
Yeah.
Kylo actually becomes the big baddie. He redoes his mask, and he fucking goes crazy and does a bunch of shit. It's like, man, I wish I would have seen that movie, not whatever the hell we got with Rise. But anyways, back to Last Jedi. I will say, it is pretty controversial, but I'm going to say another controversial thing in that I think the review discussion that you and I did is the best review of The Last Jedi on YouTube. I think that despite our charming good looks and our comedic gold, and despite our perfectness, I think that conversation was awesome. And I think that, and I'm going to pat ourselves in the back because when you look at YouTube and you type in Last Jedi, you're going to get two different videos, right? You're going to get this is a masterpiece, or you're going to get this movie's complete dog shit. And some of those videos are great, and I love them, and I watch them. I watch both sides. But the thing is that there's no one really there to like give the other perspective. I think what's really cool about our discussion is that we kind of spoke for both sides of the table, and I thought it made for a good discussion. So anyone who hasn't watched our review, you should go check it out because we don't really have time to do the Last Jedi discussion again.
Yeah.
But okay, for me, so Last Jedi. So to me, this is our generation's Empire Strikes Back. I think this is the movie that slows down and works on character. I think this is the movie that finds all the characters' weak points and pushes down on them. I think that everyone fails in this movie, and I think it's awesome. I think that some of the themes are great. I think some of the set pieces are fantastic. I think it's visually the best Star Wars ever made, just from like camera positioning and lighting and like that kind of technical stuff. Yeah, for me, it just works. Like this whole movie, like I'm sucked in from beginning to end, and I love everything that he did. And I do disagree respectfully that like subverting expectations just to do them. I do think the things that he changed have motivation and meaning. And it's kind of one of those things you're either down with those changes or you're not, and it's just kind of the unfortunate thing. But for me, they all worked. And again, this is my Empire. Like this is the Empire that I didn't get to experience Empire in '81, but I did get to experience another Empire in 2017. And for me, that was The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, another thing. I always stand by this. I don't understand. Luke lightsaber battle. I mean, I don't fucking get it. Put him physically there. It has so much more weight if he sacrifices his life in person on the planet. You know what I mean? Like, why project him? I don't get it. Like, you accomplish the same thing. He dies. He saves everyone else. He lets himself go like Obi-Wan, becomes a Force ghost. Everything is still accomplished, but you have that so much more weight when it's actually Luke. He's sitting there. And I think that would have been so much better. And then that last, the space battle was kind of lame, and the lightsaber battle was kind of lame. So the space battle is those fucking rickety-ass fucking ships. And there's no reason for this planet to look like this except they thought it was cool visually. Hey, what if it was like fucking sand, but under it's red? You get it? So when things fly, it's like fucking red shit flying up, right? That's cool visually. Mm-hmm. All our posters will be red. It's gonna be fucking great. The bad guys are red, and it's like these rickety. And I was like, dude, this is not a fun battle. This is fucking dumb.
Well, see, now we're getting into it. This is what I didn't want to do. So, yeah, but I mean, at least it's more interesting than another fucking forest planet that we've seen a million times or a desert planet that we've seen a million times. Like, it's different, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing with Star Wars. It's like, I love this franchise, but what I don't love is just recycling the same fucking shit. That's what I love about Last Jedi, is at least it's doing something different, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, it may not work the best for a lot of people, but at least it's something new. Just like what was the in Attack of the Clones, like this water planet thing where the clones are being made. Like, okay, that's cool. We've never seen a water planet. Like, that's pretty badass. And in terms of the battle, I don't even know if it's necessarily a battle. It's just the resistance trying to make a distraction so that everyone can go out the back door. So I've never really thought of it as like this epic Hoth battle. I just thought of it as like, okay, we got to go like, prevent these guys from coming in while everyone else escapes out the back door. So that's just my kind of perspective. And as far as Luke goes, I guess I'm pretty sympathetic to that. I mean, I do think that him dying in front of the Dual Suns is more impactful than him just dying on this random-ass planet. But also, like, what's cool about that, or at least for me, what I think is cool, is that all he's doing, just like the troopers, he's just making a distraction so everyone go away. He's not there to take everyone down. And he even says in the movie, what do you expect me to do? Take down the whole First Order by myself? Like, I can't do that. So he just shows up to give them another chance to live to fight another day. And I thought that was a really cool way to go out. But that's just me.
All right, I don't think I get my rank on this one yet. But Last Jedi for me is number 8.
Number 8.
Very low. 8 out of 11. It does rank, like I said, highest of the... Oh, wait, no, it doesn't rank highest. I got Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Above Last Jedi. Just because I thought that one was really good, and I thought it felt like the start of something fun. And then they just went off the rails because they're all so different.
Oh yeah. I
So
guess
the next one,
just looking at the next two, yeah, it's going to be interesting how either one of us rank these last two.
yeah. So the next one is Solo, a Star Wars story, the second spinoff and the last spinoff. Um, I mean, watching it again, it's not terrible. It's just not. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. None of it's very fun. I didn't. The acting I thought wasn't very good. I did like what's his name is Lando.
Oh yeah,
Donald
for
Glover.
sure. Yeah,
I
definitely.
thought that was perfect. But other than that, I mean, Woody Harrelson is pretty good in it too, as this kind of backstabbing crook guy. I liked him. But yeah, this was the kind of the consensus when it came out. It's like you're gonna make Solo a hero before he's a hero.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah, that's so stupid. It robs him of having that heroic moment in A New Hope. You know what I mean?
And it visually looks really good. It was like one of the most expensive movies ever made at the time. I don't know how it ranks now, but I'm sure that has something to do with its failure because it was going to need to make a lot of fucking money with that kind of budget, like bigger budget than Last Jedi, which is nuts. So, oh yeah, and then of course having to do all the reshoots, and then what the hell were those guys' name that was directing?
Oh, Chris and Phil. Dude, I want to see their fucking Solo movie, man. Like, dude, these guys, excuse me, sorry. These guys were responsible for the Lego movie, for Spider Into the Spider-Verse. Like, I want to see their version of Solo. And you can see, like, little inklings of their script, I'm assuming. Like, there's some actual funny moments that made me laugh out loud. Like, there's a part where they're in, like, a showdown with this other boss. And Han's like, I got this. And he steps forward and he's like, in my ship over there, I got 5 other guys waiting to shoot you down.
Yeah.
And like the ship just takes off, and he like just kind of walks a couple. And he's like, all right,
yeah.
So like little stuff like that, I feel like that's them because Christopher Lord and Phil Miller are really funny. So I'm assuming that's
But I did hear that they were just going too funny, and like they were doing way too many takes. It was costing too much money. They were just having people ad lib everything and not really following a script, just trying to get funny moments. And I heard that that's all I cared about was making a funny movie. And I heard that a lot of that footage with what's that guy's name? Is it the main character's name? Adrian?
Is it Ansel? I don't remember.
I'll
look it up.
The guy who plays Han Solo. And they were saying a lot of that footage under the old directors, they said he just came off as an Ace Ventura type character, just going just super hammy and over the top. Trying to be funny.
Alden.
Yeah. And so, if that's the case, I understand why they had to go, because this is one of their main characters. They didn't want this goofy comedy for Solo.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they were actually fired. They didn't quit. They got fired. Like can't think of anybody else who got fired from a Star Wars movie. A lot of them leave, like things change and like, oh, we have creative differences, so I decided not to do it. Or something like that. And I think that's what happened with Trevorrow or whatever the hell his name is for 9. They didn't fire him. I think he left or something like that. But yeah. And so Ron Howard comes on, fucking Ron Howard, and tries to fix it and has to do a bunch of reshoots and all this other shit.
At least we get a Clint Howard cameo.
Yeah.
At least we get that out of it, right?
Yeah. And so... yeah, it was not very good. A lot of it doesn't make sense too. But one of my biggest gripes is like, why? This is 10 years before Episode 4. Why? First of all, I don't see that Han Solo becoming the Han Solo we see in 4. I don't think the casting was very good. And then I don't see the Falcon is like brand new and like white and like pristine and all this. I was like, how has that Falcon become? I mean, they kind of. At the end, they just fuck it all up. So, now it's getting closer. But seriously, like the interior, it's like white and like nice. And I was like, dude, this thing's yellowed and gross by the time we see it. And it's only 10 years.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of New Hope. This thing's a piece of junk. You know what I mean? Like, how are we going to take on the fucking Death Star with this thing? Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah. And why have it? Remember, it had that thing in the nose. Ooh, it looks different. They eject it. Why don't just have the normal Falcon the whole time? Why's it got to be like that? And there's some good. No, there's not. There's some okay moments. Like I like at the end when he's like, I just did the Kessel Run at 12 parsecs. Chewie's like, "Wrrr." Well, if you round down. So yeah, Solo is my number 11. It's the bottom of the list.
Nice.
Dead last.
Yeah, so I actually had never seen this movie. I kind of refused to see it until hey, there it is, the DVD or the 4K. Your HD DVD player, well, a DVD will play in your HD DVD player. Don't worry. So yeah, I hadn't seen this movie. I was kind of refusing to watch it because it just felt like a cash grab to me from Disney. Like, oh, we have this property, you might as well, we got to make some money back. So let's shit out a fucking Solo movie. It doesn't quite feel like they shit this one out. Like, there's some parts I liked about it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. There are moments that are cringeworthy. I was kind of tweeting you guys, my friends, while I was watching. I didn't do the whole thing because I didn't want to bug you guys, but yeah, there's a moment where he gets a surname from some soldier he's signing up to go, and it was just like, oh my god, why? Why can't he just be Han Solo? He doesn't need to be given a name. There's just a lot of shit like that. But I will say that Glover is Lando was perfect casting. I think there is a chunk of this movie that I fucking enjoyed a lot, like more than I thought I would. And it's it's not very long; it's like 30 minutes. But it's when they meet Lando, and then they're like, "Hey, let's go to this planet. We gotta do something. It doesn't really matter." But they break out a bunch of prisoners or slaves or something, and then they go on this kind of like space battle with these TIE fighters, and they get sucked into this wormhole thing. It's a Kessel Run, but
yeah.
That whole section of the movie I thought was a blast. I'm like, why can't that be the movie? Like, why can't we just start the movie with them already established and they already know each other and they just go on an adventure together? Like, instead of just trying to create all these things. That being said, watching it the first time, Solo was number 10. It is not my last. It is second to last. And I'm going to explain why that is on the next one. So it's number 10 for me. Gotcha.
Yep, 11 and 10. Next, boom. Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Is it the same under the... Oh, no, it's got a different one.
The sleeve cover is dope. I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Rise of Skywalker. So, episode 9. What was I going to say? First of all, it was strange when they announced the title. I was like, what the fuck? Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Skywalker's dead. What happened here? What's going on here? So, it's kind of strange title, and then we find out why it is that way. Watching Rise of Skywalker again, it's not as bad as I remembered, because it's just fun. It's got a lot of visually really cool stuff, like all the ship stuff and the Exegol and the Death Star on the water planet. Like, visually, there's a lot of cool looking stuff on it. But yeah, just the story is so ridiculous, and I think it had to be because of episode 8. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do now? Your big bad's gone. We got what about the best big bad we ever had? He's back. I didn't mind the Palpatine coming back stuff. I thought that worked pretty well. It could have been done better because he's like, I made Snoke. I was like, well, this is fucking why didn't you just do it yourself then?
Yeah.
Why do you need Snoke? And so that stuff didn't make sense, but having Palpatine come back with that was kind of cool. The revelation that Rey is his granddaughter. I mean, I didn't mind it, but it didn't seem necessary. Just all this movie seems unnecessary. And then it's like it's just trying to get something from 8, because obviously J.J. Abrams had an idea with 7. Most of those story threads were, cut in episode 8 or ended. So he's like, oh fuck. And so I don't know how much I blame him and how much I blame just all 3 of these movies not being thought of before they fucking did them.
Yeah.
And have one story arc. And so it's just all over the place. There is some good stuff at the end of Palpatine and Ben Solo giving his life to save her. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense at the end. It's like, my name's Ray. Ray what? Ray Skywalker.
Oh God!
Like,
Fucking shoot me!
like you don't get to choose your name. Like
Yeah.
you're just, yeah. So I mean, it's not as bad as I remembered. I don't think any Star Wars movie is like incredibly bad. They're just the worst of the Star Wars. Like I still enjoy all of them for whatever they may have.
Definitely.
Even Solo. But this one for me is number 10. And I think it just has to do with it can't do anything. What was it going to do? I mean, what's it going to do to continue Episode 8's story? Like, Episode 8 ended with some kid fucking force grabbing a broom and then holding it like a lightsaber looking off into space. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? I don't get it.
It means, God damn it. No, we're not going to get into it. I know what it means. We're not getting into it.
Anybody can be anything.
Well, that's part of it. That's not all of it, but that's part of it. Yeah, when I watched Solo, I was like, yeah, that's last. But like I said, I watched the ones I weren't a fan of to see where they rank. So I watched Solo, I think like Tuesday night or something, some random night. I think it was Tuesday. Anyways, I rewatched Rise because when I went and saw Rise of Skywalker in theaters, obviously me being a fan of The Last Jedi and this movie being basically a middle finger to Last Jedi, I was kind of irritated by that. Which I understand the people who watched Last Jedi who were fans of Force Awakens, they felt like that was a misway. I totally get it. But for me, yeah, it was like a middle finger. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you redoing everything that just got, said? I mean, Colin Trevorrow did it, so that's my argument. Like, yeah, he didn't need to change things that Ryan did. I mean, because Colin had a script that further advanced everything that Ryan did. So that didn't really, I was like, eh. But my problem with this movie is, and so anyways, so my theater reaction was not very good. And not only that, but it's I've seen every single Star Wars movie in theaters. And it's the only time in a Star Wars movie where when we got to the end, in a packed theater, the whole packed theater turned on the movie and laughed at it. It was the most awkward thing. Like when Rey and Ben kissed, the whole groaned and laughed. It was like awkward. Like, man, that's pretty rough for a Star Wars movie. Versus like every other Star Wars movie where there's a lot of cheering and celebratory and applauses. Like that's usually what you get with the Star Wars. This was like the opposite. Yeah, this movie. So looking at Solo and Rise of Skywalker, the reason why Solo edges it out just a little is that Rise of Skywalker is trying to undo Last Jedi. It's trying to wrap up this Disney trilogy. It's also trying to wrap up wrap up the franchise. It's also trying to deal with the fact that Carrie Fisher is gone, and she's kind of a big part of the movie, or she was originally. So this movie is trying to do way too many things, and because of that, it's just such a mess. This movie is just a mess. It's still entertaining at parts, but it's just like all over the place. And with Solo, at least there's a vision with Solo. Solo isn't a mess. It's just not very entertaining. So for me, Rise of Skywalker is my last. It's number 11 because it's just a mess. There's some cool ideas in there. I like the warp skipping. I thought that was kind of a fun idea we've never seen before. I wish it would come back. I thought it was like a setup. They were going to do it later on as like a big move or something, but it never comes back. But yeah, the finale of this movie is complete and utter nonsense with the Palpatine and I like one of my favorite moments of the movie. I'm sure everyone's favorite moment of the movie is when Ben turns or Kylo becomes Ben again. And he shows up, and there's like a fight between him and the Ren, and he does his dad's shoulder shrug with the pistol. I thought that was kind of a fun little throwback. But other than that, the other thing I liked about it, let's talk about the things I liked. The other thing I liked about it is Last Jedi, like Empire, they split the characters up. So it was kind of cool to see them all back together as a group and kind of bouncing off one another, because I think there's a lot of fun with that, and that was kind of missing in The Last Jedi. But yeah, this movie is, like you said, none of these are bad, but when you compare it to the rest of the movies in the lineup, it's definitely the worst. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had it at 10. I thought it was slightly better than Solo. I just had a little bit more fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
I did like some of the parts, like when they're going to fight the space battle, and they're waiting for help because they talk about no one came in Episode 8 when we asked for help.
Yeah.
And now they're trying it again, and they think it's over and everyone's dying. And Poe's now General, and they're asking him, "What do we do, General?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, guys. I thought we had a chance. I really did. I'm sorry." And then it's like, "We just don't have enough people." Or I think he said that. "We just don't have enough or there's just too many of them, is what he says.
Yeah.
And then we hear Lando, well, there's more of us. And then all these fucking ships warp in, and there's just hundreds of them. And I was emotional in that part. I was like, oh, there's like so many of them. And I thought that part was actually kind of emotional, coming from
and also they put the
showing
theme
up.
in there. Yeah, and no one the whole fucking fleet shows up. It's a really cool moment. And not only that, on top of that, as a layer in itself, is they actually played the Star Wars theme for the first time in Star Wars history. I don't think the theme ever plays in the movie. I think it's always in the opening. So that was kind of fun to see the theme kick in as soon as they show up.
Yeah, so I just enjoyed it a little bit more than Solo. That was so that's why it's my 10. Another thing is like another thing I just thought of with Episode 8 trying to cut ties with everything is I forgot that they destroy Anakin's lightsaber and break it in half, and I'm sure there was no plans to put it back in 9 like they did. Like,
they did. Yeah, they brought it back in 9. I don't know if you like it, but Rey basically makes a Darth Maul saber, so like half of it's hers and half it's like a rebuilt. So she has she wields a double saber in the.
That's weird.
9. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It was a blue double.
I thought it was another thing to be like, we're getting rid of the fucking most famous saber too. Break it now.
Tear it all down.
Cut Luke's fucking head off. Yeah, so that's it. Those are the rankings.
Yeah, we're pretty close on some of these. What's been fascinating to me, I don't know if you did this, but going into this, I thought we were going to be pretty close. I guess we're kind of close. But I went to Google and I typed in like Star Wars ranked. Obviously, there's like websites to do it. I'm like, fuck the websites.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get from the goddamn source how these are ranked. So I went to Reddit because that's the source of all power. So I went to Reddit and it's just this long, obviously thousands of people. And as I was scrolling, I was like, holy shit. Like, Star Wars means so many things to different people. Like, there wasn't a single list on all those Reddit posts that were the same. Some people were like, fucking Phantom Menace, #1. You know, you obviously grew up with the fucking prequels of Phantom Menace is #1. But you know what I mean? Like, there's the Rise of Skywalker #1. It was just like, whoa, this is kind of cool that, like, Star Wars, you know, Star Wars does something to different people. The movies do different things to different people. And, like, the ranking is so all over the place. It's kind of fascinating.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, we were pretty close. I just think our main differences caused it to be quite a bit off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like taking up some spots. Like our main differences, such as Revenge of the Sith,
and Jedi, Last Jedi,
and Jedi. Yeah, those kind of threw off everything. That's pretty cool. We both had Rogue One as 4, though. Yeah,
I enjoyed it last night, man. That was a fun movie to watch.
And we both had Phantom Menace. We both had Phantom Menace at 6, didn't we?
I had Phantom Menace as 7.
There was one. What was the other one we agreed on? Force Awakens, right? 7?
No, we were off on. We were the same on Return of the Jedi. We both had it at 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the only two we were the same on was Rogue One and Return of the Jedi.
We were the same on Attack of the Clones at 9.
Oh yeah.
Return of the Jedi at 5 and Rogue One at 4. And everything else, it was like we're off by 1 kind of deal.
No. Well, right on. That's it. That's episode 100, man.
That was fun.
The final ranks. It was kind of tough coming up with that. What I did is I wrote them all down on a piece of paper and I went through them like in release order.
Mm-hmm.
And I just so I got A New Hope. Obviously, there's no other movies out. That's number 1. And then I took the next one. Is this better than A New Hope? Yes. And then that's how I did it. And so I had to do it. So yeah, thanks for joining us. 100 episodes. We really appreciate you joining us and the support. As always, you can check out Bryan vs. Bryan on Apple Music, on Spotify, and here on YouTube. We appreciate it. We love y'all. Let us know, man. What's your favorite Star Wars? What's your least favorite Star Wars? That's always kind of the most important. People don't talk about the middle.
Yeah.
People don't talk about the middle. They talk about the ends, the bookends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. Thanks for helping us get to 100. It's been a journey. It's been so fun. We enjoy doing it. Like I said, probably just be here at 46, 50 years old. Talk about movies.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Truly thank you for 100. This was so fun. Big celebration. We love y'all. Till the next piece, we say peace.
Peace.